So in this video, we are going to learn how to get task summary from Pabbly Connect via email. So if you are a Pabbly Connect user, this automation is going to help you a lot. So Pabbly Connect recently came up with a feature using which you can see which of your automation workflow in Pabbly Connect is consuming how much your paid task or free task in your Pabbly Connect account. You can get the task summary, task usage details on the basis of workflow. And here guys, in this video, we are also going to set up an automation workflow which will be triggered every day. Every day using this automation, we are going to get the task usage summary of a workflow from our Pabbly Connect account, and we are getting those details as an email on our email address. So we are going to set up an automation using which every day you are going to get an email with all the task usage summary of a particular workflow from your Pabbly Connect account, that how much task that workflow has consumed last day, yesterday. So if you want to know how you can check this task usage summary or set up this automation, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. And now in your own Pabbly Connect account, you can actually see the task usage, the task consumption summary according to workflows as well. So let me show you. We will just go to the history section of our Pabbly Connect account. And then here you can see an option named as task usage by workflows. Just click on it. And here under this section, you will get a list of all the workflows and see how many tasks that particular workflow is consuming in your own Pabbly Connect account. Like I have this workflow named as Google Ads Insight. And this particular workflow has consumed 324 tasks in my Pabbly Connect account. The next one is this particular workflow which has consumed 16 tasks, and the Google Sheet to Telegram workflow has consumed 11 tasks in my Pabbly Connect account. So in this way, by referring to your history section and going to task usage by workflow, you can get the summary of your task usage on the basis of workflows over here. And you just can't segregate the task consumption on the basis of workflow. You can just click on this filter button, and here you can actually set up a filter condition between some date range. You can select a folder, and by selecting that folder, in response, you will get the task usage summary of workflows which are there in that particular folder. Or here you can select a particular workflow name. Like for example, if I select this Google Ads workflow, Google Ads Insight, and then just click on apply filter. So here you can see that that particular workflow is open over here, and then here you can see the task consumption of that single workflow. So in this way, you can actually track the task usage, the task consumption of your Pabbly Connect account according to your workflows. By workflows, you can filter out the condition. And also you can filter out the workflow on the workflow status. Like you can get a list of workflow which are on over here, select all over here once, and then click on apply filter. And all the workflows that are active on your Pabbly Connect account will be listed over here. So right now in my Pabbly Connect account, I have only one active workflow, and this is the name of that workflow. And here you can see that. So in this way, by going to the history section and selecting task usage by workflow, you can get the task consumption, the task usage of your Pabbly Connect account on the basis of workflow. And you can add some more filter condition to get precise data from the task consumption of a particular folder or a particular workflow or the workflow status. And you can also select the date range over here. Now after this guys, in this video, we are going to set up an automation workflow in our Pabbly Connect account. And using this automation, we will be getting an email every day with the task usage summary of a particular workflow. So here guys, let's assume that I have a particular workflow named as this, how to send Telegram message from MySQL. Now every day in the morning, I want how many tasks this workflow has consumed as an email notification. So for this kind of condition, we will see how you can automate this process and automatically get an email with the task usage summary of a particular workflow from your Pabbly Connect account. So let's click on this create workflow button and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name it as task usage and click on create. After clicking on create, here you can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with a trigger window. Now the idea here is we want to get an email every day over here. So I'm just taking an example of getting an email every day. Every day, I want the task usage summary of a particular workflow of a day before. Like yesterday's summary of a particular workflow, I want to get as an email today in the morning. So that's why we want this workflow to be executed, to be run every day. So we will be using schedule by Pabbly over here. Select scheduler by Pabbly in this trigger window. Then it is asking us how often you want to run your workflow. And in this drop down, you have at a regular interval, once every day, days of the weeks and dates of the month. So we are going to select every day over here. Then we have to select the time. So for example, I want the task usage summary as an email every day at 9 a.m. So I'm going to select 9 a.m. as the time over here and click on save. So we have successfully scheduled this workflow to be executed every day at 9 a.m. After this, what we have to do, we have to actually get the task user summary of the workflow from our Pabbly Connect account. And to do this, we are going to use Pabbly Connect Manager. So just scroll down, come to our action window, and here in Choose Apps, search for Pabbly Connect Manager. Select it. And then in action event from this drop down, select the action event as Task Usage Summaries. Select this particular action event. Click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to actually connect our Pabbly Connect account in this action step of Pabbly Connect Manager using the API token of our Pabbly Connect account. Now here you must be thinking how you can get this API token. So what you have to do, you just have to go to the settings section of your Pabbly Connect account. Just go to settings and here go to API and webhooks. Or you can click on this hyperlink given in the help text below. And by clicking on this, here you will reach to the API and webhook section of our Pabbly Connect account. Just copy this API key from here, go back to Pabbly Connect's workflow and paste it over here in this token section. And then just click on save. Now, after connecting our Pabbly Connect account in this action step of Pabbly Connect Manager, the first thing it asks us is to select the workflow. So in this drop down, you can see a list of all the workflows which we have created in our Pabbly Connect account. And the task usage summary of which particular workflow we want to receive, we have to select that workflow over here. The help text says, select the workflow or click on the map button and keep the field blank to select all workflows. So if you want to get the task usage summary of all the workflows of your Pabbly Connect account, you just have to turn this mapping button on and just keep this field blank. And then just click on save and send test request to get the task usage history of all the workflows. But right now we have an automation use case that we want to get the task usage history of one particular workflow. And that was how to send Telegram message from MySQL. This was the workflow which we have taken for example. So we are going to select this workflow over here. Then it is asking us for the folder. Like if you don't want to get the task usage summary on the basis of workflow, you want to get the task usage summary on the basis of folder. So from this drop down, you can select the folder as well. So here I have selected this folder home in which this particular workflow exists. But if you want to get the status or the task usage summary of all the workflows into a particular folder which you have created, then you can just keep this field blank and select the folder over here from this drop down. And the help text again says, select the folder or click on the map button. Keep the field blank to select all the folder. If you want to get the task usage history of all the folders, then just once again turn this mapping button on and keep this field blank. Then it is asking us workflow status. So if you want to filter out the workflows on the basis of their workflow status, like if you want to get the task usage summary of all the workflows which are on, select on from here. And if you want to get the task usage history of all the workflows which are off, select off over here. Right now we have selected a particular workflow and we want to get the task usage history of this workflow only. And this workflow is currently off in my Pabbly account. So here I have selected off. Then it is asking us for the start date and end date. So here guys, we have to enter the time duration, that from which date and time to which date and time, for what time duration we want to get the task usage history. If you keep these fields blank, then the default task usage time is 30 days. So if we keep these fields blank, then the task consumption of last 30 days of this particular workflow will be received in response. But guys, we want to get the task usage summary of this workflow of a day before. For example, if this automation workflow will be executed tomorrow at 9 a.m., I want to get the task usage history of this particular workflow of today. Today from 12 a.m. in the midnight till 11:59 p.m. at the night. So we have to enter that particular date and time. We have to enter the date and time. So guys, here we want to get the task usage history of yesterday from 12 a.m. in the midnight to 11:59 p.m. in the midnight. And we have to enter the date and the day in this particular format. But guys, every day when this automation workflow will execute, the date is going to change. Like today is 10th of May, and then if this automation workflow runs today, then I want to get the task usage history of this workflow of 9th on May as an email. Like if this automation workflow executes tomorrow on 11th of May, then I want to get the task usage history of 10th of May in response. This means every day the date is going to get changed. So what we have to do, we have to introduce the date of a day before in this automation workflow. And for that, before this Pabbly Connect Manager step, click on this Add Action Step button over here. And we are going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect that is called Date Time Formatter. Just select Date Time Formatter over here. And then in Action Event from this drop down, select the action event as Modify Current Date. Click on Connect. After this, it is asking us for the date format. So here you can see that in this format in which the Pabbly Connect has asked us the date over here in this action, the format is year-month-date. So we are going to select that exact same format over here from this drop down. Then it is asking us for the time zone, that according to what time zone we want to get the date. So we are in India, and in India we follow the Asia Kolkata time zone. So here guys, I'm going to select the date according to the Asia Kolkata time zone. My Pabbly Connect account is according to the Asia Kolkata time zone. Then after this, it is asking us for the operation. So our action event is modify current date. We are going to make some changes, some modifications in the current date. And we want to subtract a day in current date. Like we want the date of a day before. So the operation will be subtract, unit will be days, and the value will be 1. And then just click on Save and Send Test Request. So in this way, whenever this automation workflow will execute, it will get the response of the date of a day before. And we want to get the task usage history of a day before. That's why we have received this correct date over here. Now after adding this date, what we have to do, we have to map this exact same date in start date and end date over here. But right now, because we have introduced some new data before this step, that's why it is not showing us any mapping data. Just click on this connected button in this Pabbly Connect Manager step and click on select existing connection. Then once again, what we have to do, we have to come to this field of mapping, just select it. And here from this drop down from date time formatter, select this date. Then with date, we also have to enter a time. And the format of time is after a space hours, minutes, seconds. So we want the start time to be 00:00:00. So according to the 24 hours time format, this is 12 a.m. So we want to get the task usage history of yesterday, 9th of May from 12 a.m. in the midnight. And then in end date, we want to get the task till the same date but until 11 p.m. So I'll enter the time as 23:00:00, or what you can do 23:59 over here. So we have entered the time duration, that from which date to which date and time we want to get the task usage summary. After this, just click on Save and Send Test Request over here. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received the response. And in this response guys, you can see the details of the task usage summary of this particular workflow in our Pabbly Connect account. So here you can see that the total number of time this workflow is executed is 1. The total paid task this workflow has consumed is 1, and the free task consumed by this workflow is also 1. So here guys, I'll just go to my Pabbly Connect account, go to the dashboard section, and I will just open up this workflow once. Just open up the workflow. And we will go to the history section of this workflow. And yes, here you can see that yesterday, this automation workflow has been executed only once on 9th of May. And this automation has consumed 2 steps, 2 tasks over here, out of which 1 task was paid and another one was the free task. So here you can see that the response which we get inside Pabbly Connect is the correct task usage summary of our workflow. Now we want to get this task usage summary of this workflow as an email on our email account. For that, just scroll down, click on this Add Action Step button, and then here in Choose App, search for Gmail. Just select Gmail over here. After this, an action event from this dropdown, select Send Email as the action event. Click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Gmail account with Pabbly Connect, using which we want to send an email on our email address. So to connect our Gmail account using which we want to send an email, click on this Connect with Gmail button and then select your account using which you want to send the email. Then just scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, we will see our Gmail account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After connecting our Gmail account, the first thing it asks us is the recipient email address, that on which particular email address we want to receive an email with the task usage summary of this workflow. So we just have to enter our email address on which we want to receive the workflow summary. So I've entered this email address over here. Then if you want, you can add some email address in CC or BCC as well. If not, you can keep these fields blank. Then here it is asking us for the sender's name, that by what name we want to send the email. So I want to send the email by the name of Pabbly. I want to receive the email. When I receive the email, I want to get the sender's name as Pabbly. So I have selected it. Then it is asking us email subject, that what will be the subject line of the email. So my subject line will be, for example, task usage summary. This will be the subject line of my email which I am going to receive with the task usage summary. Then if you want, you can add a reply to email as well. Select the email content type as plain over here. If you want, you can select the HTML over here and create an HTML type of email in this body section. Right now in this video, I'm just selecting plain email over here. Then we have to actually create the email content, that what will be the body of the email which we want to receive with the details of the task consumption, task usage of this workflow which we have received in the previous step. So one by one, we are going to map all of this data which we have received of a task usage summary in this email body section. I want to receive an email in such a way like for, and here in this email, I want to mention the date, that for what date we have received the task usage summary. So using datetime formatter, we have added yesterday's date. And for this date, we have actually retrieved the task usage summary of our workflow. So we are going to map that date over here. Then after that, all the task usage details which we have received of this workflow from Pabbly Connect Manager, one by one, we are going to map these details. We are going to map the workflow executed, total paid task, and total free task consumed. Other than this, you will also see each and every time this automation workflow is executed, you will see the details of each and every execution over here as well. So here we want to just enter these three details in the email. So I'm just going to add these details over here in this email body section. For example, task executed or workflow executed. Workflow executed, and the number of times this workflow executed, we are going to map that response over here. Then we are going to enter free task consumed and map that response over here. And at last, paid task and that response too. Okay, so these are the details of the task usage summary which I want to receive as an email. Then I want my message to be thank you, regards. Okay, so this is the complete email which I want to receive every day with the task usage summary of a specific workflow a day before. So in this email, we have mentioned the date, that for what date we are getting the task usage summary. Then I have mentioned the workflow, number of times workflow has been executed, total free task consumed, and the paid task consumed by that workflow. After this guys, here you can see in this step of Gmail, we also have an option to send some file attachments with this email. Right now in this video, we are not going to send some file attachments with email, so we can ignore these fields for now. And then just click on this Save and Send Test Request button. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that this email, whose body we have created with the details of our task usage of this particular workflow which we have received from Pabbly Connect Manager, or with all of these details, an email is been sent on this recipient email address. So let's check it. We will go to the email inbox of this email address. We'll just go here, go to all mails. And yes, here you can see that by the name of Pabbly, we have received an email which says, "Hello demo, here is the task usage summary of your workflow for this date." Then here you can see the number of times this workflow was executed, the free task consumed, and the paid task consumed as well. So in this way, guys, you can see that we have successfully created this automation in our Pabbly Connect account, using which you can get the task usage summary of a particular workflow, of a particular folder, or of a particular workflow status for your time duration as an email on your own email address. So using this automation every day using Pabbly Connect Manager, we will get the task usage summary of a particular workflow of a day before. And then we are going to get those details of the task usage summary as an email on our mentioned email address from our Gmail account. So here guys, you can see that we have created this automation workflow using Pabbly Connect Manager to get the task usage summary of a particular workflow. But instead of a particular workflow, you can set up this automation for all the workflows which you have in your Pabbly Connect account, or for workflows from a specific folder, or workflows with a specific status, like for all the workflows that are on or for all the workflows that are off. And also you can enter the start date and end date. You can select the time duration over here as well. Like you can get the task usage details of an automation workflow for last 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, 15 days, up to 30 days over here using this automation. So here guys, not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone this same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down to your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.